Hey ladies, welcome and welcome back to my channel. How you doing? Hope you're having a great Monday so far. This is your daily dose of truth, no fluff, no filters. Let's get into it. More and more women are choosing to stay single, and even married women, happily married women, are coming out and advising women to stay single. They're letting us know that if they had to do it all over again, if anything were to happen to their husbands, if they were to get divorced, they would not do it again. They would stay single. And honestly, I believe them. There's a lot of women in my comment section letting me know that, they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, letting me know that they've married and they're divorced and they are extremely happy staying single. They have not remarried. And some of them don't even have children. They're choosing to stay single. And they're saying, I would never do it again. So one thing I also want to talk about is the trad wife to homelessness pipeline. I mean, a lot of women are not understanding that when you give a man the power to feed you, he also has the power to starve you. Why would you give somebody full control over you? And I mean control in every sense of the word. I get it. For some of you, it's, about religion, right? For some of you, it's your family members. That's how you were raised. But I was also raised into religion. I was also raised, with those type of values as well. But I got a brain. I'm sorry if it seems harsh, but I started reading books. Okay. I did research. I asked questions. And when I could not get questions at church, I read the Bible for myself. One thing I always ask a Jehovah Witness or anybody that tries to talk to me about the Bible is, have you read the entire Bible? No? Okay, so good. You're not allowed to preach to me point blank, period. So if you're asking questions, you're not able to get the answers that you need, then go search out. You have one life. Why is it that you feel so comfortable just sitting there, only going based off of what one person is telling you? This is your life. You have one life to live. It's kind of sad and pathetic that you feel so in need of having somebody be in control of you, like you don't have a brain. There's people who are disabled. They don't even have the ability to feed themselves, clothe themselves, go for a fucking walk. You have all those abilities, but yet you want to be disabled. So disabled that you have to have somebody have control, autonomy, control over you. Like it makes absolutely no sense to me. Let me stop renting because I could do this all day. Y'all really like piss me off. Even with these videos, you would still get comments of pick me's completely. Yeah, you can tell when somebody didn't watch the video, or they'll be arguing with people in the comments, like just because somebody said they're happy being alone, they'll make slight comments like, wow, like you guys just haven't found the right person. Okay, sure. And let's be honest, if marriage truly benefited women, if it truly benefited women, don't you think men would have hid that from us? Don't you think men would have actually kept us from getting married? Think about it. If it was so good, don't you think they would have kept it from us? Yeah. One thing that I also hear a lot of women talk about is just how horrible divorce is. A lot of men are so cold-hearted. The woman doesn't have the money to pay for a good lawyer, so they will drag out the divorce, and the woman has to end up settling, right? They have to end up like cut the process short because they can't keep dragging it, especially those stay-at-home moms, those trad wives. They were only relying on that person. So if this person says get out, they have no choice, even if they try to get a lawyer. With what money, right? So divorce can be a long process. I've even heard stories of people who are in relationships, like the person is sleeping in one bed, they're sleeping in one bed, they're in the same house, still married, but going through a divorce process or separated. And it's just like, how do you even date? How do you even explain that to someone? Like you're trying to get yourself together, you're trying to heal, but you can't because you have this person that you have to still deal with. I don't want to deal with any of that. And I know a lot of women don't want to deal with any of that either. So let's go ahead and keep going with the videos. Let me stop rambling.
Want to know the major theme that I'm seeing in the divorce industry as a divorce lawyer as I do consults these days? I am seeing working moms doing it all. And I'm seeing the husbands step back and say, Hannah, I don't got to do a thing. She's got the kids, she's got the groceries, she's got the laundry, she's got the meals, she's got the work. And by the way, she's making all the money and she's paying for the house and doing everything else. I'm going to go to the firehouse, I'm going to go play this, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. That's the theme. And women are tired.
I'm a happily married woman, and I tell women all the time not to get married. You know why? Because I was 24 when I got married. I was a baby. My frontal lobe was not fully developed. I didn't know anything. I got fucking lucky. Okay? I got lucky, and I've been transparent about that from the get-go. Because statistically speaking, we know how women end up in most cis-het relationships, okay? It ain't good for them. It's not good for them. I got lucky, okay? I got lucky. At 24, you think I knew what I was looking for in a good husband and a good life partner? And who would eventually be a good father to my children? No, I sure didn't. But I can look back 14 years ago as a woman, as a married mother who has a great marriage, who has an equitable partner. I can now tell women, hey, listen to the married woman. Listen to the happily married woman. If I'm happily married and I'm telling you, don't do it, it's not worth it, what do you think an unhappily married woman is going to tell you? It's not. For most women, it's not worth it. Because for most women, you will end up doing the majority of the domestic labor and the child care. You'll probably still end up working. And then you'll outgrow your husband. That is the unfortunate truth of it. You want to sit here and tell women that they can't share this information to other women because they're married? Shut the fuck up. Shut up, dude. Okay? You want to listen to a single person? This is the same thing. Like if I was single and telling women this, you would tell me I was bitter and single and lonely. I'm not. I've been happily married for 12 years and I wouldn't recommend it. Because that's coming from a very, very privileged place. Because most women don't have what I have, okay? So listen to the married women, the happily married women that are telling you, don't do it, babe. It ain't worth it. Because your chances are you're not going to get lucky like me. That's just, it is what it is. But don't sit here and say, we can't teach about patriarchal things if we're married. Don't.
I made a post about how women don't benefit from marriage and the incels went crazy. In this video, we're going to go through all the reasons. But let's start here. The consensus from most men in the comments were that women do benefit from marriage through divorce. So they seem to be in agreement that the best part of marriage for women is leaving. If that were true, which it's not, I think that would make my point. Let's go through finances, child custody, and health. Is marriage worth it for women? The benefits mostly go to men. Currently, over 50% of households have a dual income. I read this as women are taking half of their own stuff. In those households, despite a dual income, women are still doing the lion's share of domestic labor and emotional labor. In a divorce, women's income drops on average by 20%. Divorced men see an average of 30% increase in their income. Post-divorce, 20% of women find themselves in poverty compared to 11% of men. Let's talk alimony. Alimony has been gender neutral since 1979. It's the breadwinner who pays. In the 1960s, 25% of men were paying alimony post-divorce. Today, that number is 10%. And I know the math is right here, but I'm going to say it anyway. 90% of marriages end with no alimony whatsoever. 90 to 95% of the time that alimony is paid, it was settled out of court, meaning a judge didn't weigh in and didn't order it. In the cases where a judge orders it, there's a large discrepancy between the spouse's income and assets. Short marriages are less likely to get any alimony. Judges are looking at if one spouse sacrificed their career or potential earnings. And so if they didn't, alimony wouldn't be awarded. Now let's talk child custody. Studies show that when fathers ask for custody, they get it. Conversely, as fathers tend not to ask for custody, they don't get it. Most custody cases are settled out of court. For absolute clarity, most fathers are giving custody to the mothers, not losing custody. Do you see the difference? Now we're going to talk about health, and that will lead me into my last point. Why do women even want to get married if it doesn't benefit them? You know when married women nag their partners? You really going to have that third beer? Babe, I think you need to go get that mole looked at with the doctor. Men seem to hate that, and yet it is the direct reason why married men live longer lives and healthier lives than unmarried men. I've read that men resist marriage because they know that it requires a substantial behavior change on their part. They associate marriage with increased responsibilities and potential financial loss. And yet, those things aren't true. Our culture sets expectations high for women and low for men. Getting married has historically brought a large change in how men see themselves and how they behave. If marriage has been a particularly strong signal of change in men's committed behavior, it would explain the stereotype of women pushing for marriage and men resisting. Tell me what you think.
I've never hated another person more than I hate the person that I married. Well, I run my ass off and I do everything for everybody in my life, like me, my kids, him. He goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works.
Her story is a cautionary tale of the inherent risk involved when you decide to become a stay-at-home mom, when you decide to become financially reliant on your partner. And I want to say, I know that for many families, there is no choice, right? Women are being forced out of the workforce due to the cost of childcare. Not everyone has the choice of whether or not they can remain in the workforce or not. But when a woman decides to become a stay-at-home parent or is forced to become a stay-at-home parent, there is inherent risk, right? She's sharing her experience of this toxic, awful marriage and her partner who is truly failing her and her children in so many ways. And oftentimes when women share this experience, people will say, well, why didn't you leave? How come you didn't leave? Why did you stick around? If it was so bad, you've been together for 12 years, why did you stay? And she shares that the reason she stayed is because she simply did not have the means to leave. She could not financially afford to leave, because this is what so many people find themselves in, right? Even if they do have a job, if they're going to leave, they need to pay for their own housing. They need to pay for childcare. They now need to do everything on their own financially. Or if they don't have a job, now they're in this place where they need to find a job. They need to find a job and housing and the money to be able to afford childcare so they can have the job. But without childcare, you can't get a job. And without a job, you can't get childcare. So what are they to do? Right? They don't have the means to leave. And there's this weird assumption that women can just leave and they'll have the family support or friend support or support of a community. And that's just not the case for so many women. And her story really is a cautionary tale, because when we enter into marriage, every time you enter into marriage as a woman, there's inherent risk involved, right? Marriage isn't always good for women. We know that women are the ones who are financially punished for having children, for being married. And so entering into marriage is just risky in general. But when you enter into marriage and then you become a stay-at-home parent, there's more risk involved financially, right? And it is really detrimental to women who are specifically in these toxic relationships because they can't get out. And that's a really, really difficult place to be. And so when women like this share their stories, I think it's important to heed their caution, right? Like understand what they're telling us, listen to them, and plan accordingly. If you are a stay-at-home parent, that is by no means the wrong choice. Like, I support anybody who wants to stay home with their children. I think that's amazing. But I do think there needs to be a level of financial security. You need to have access to your own money, your own savings. You need to be able to financially support yourself should you need to. I think it's really important to keep a foot in the door if you can with a career, if you ever had one, or if you think you might go back. That way you can re-enter the workforce to support you and your children. I think there are so many things to learn from stories like this. And this is not to discourage women from being stay-at-home parents, it's to equip you with the information you need to make sure that if ever you find yourself in a situation like this, you are able to support yourself and your children and put yourself in a place that is not toxic, right? And is good for you all. Because unfortunately, this woman has been in this relationship that is not only detrimental to her, but also to her.
Marriage benefits men more than it does women. Divorce benefits women more than it does men. Pay attention, because I'm about to drop some game. Marriage is not goals. You know what marriage is? Marriage is a scam, and it's a way to trap somebody to abuse them forever and indefinitely. Most men will use marriage, they'll weaponize it, they'll be on their best behavior until y'all get married, and then the mask drops. Then he shows his natural ass in that marriage because he feels that you're trapped and you can't go nowhere, especially if y'all have kids. He married you to turn you into his mother. That's why he loses sexual attraction for you once y'all get married, because in his mind, you have taken the place of his mama, and he can't have sex with his mama. That's gross. He also married you to turn you into a slave and a maid and a mule. And if he loses his job, you're going to pay all them fucking bills, and he's going to take his time looking for new employment because you got it all. He can slack up on the bills because he knows you're responsible. And whatever he don't do, he know for a fact you going to do it, whether you want to do it or not, because you're the more responsible one. And if he cheats, He knows how difficult it is for you to get out the marriage. You can't up and leave because both of y'all names is on the mortgage, on the lease. His name is on the bills. You can't kick him out the house. Go to the police with that shit and watch what the police tell you. He legally has a right to stay, a resident in the household, even though you catch him cheating. So you're stuck with him. He knows he could cheat and come right back to you because y'all are married. You got his last name and his kids, and you can't just up and leave. So tell me who's benefiting more from marriage while he's stressing you the fuck out. But baby, once you file that divorce, and once that judge grants you the divorce, and that judge grants you child support and spousal support, oh, he's gonna fucking hate that shit. And he's gonna hate the fact that he can no longer control you while living a double life and fucking multiple side bitches. See, to an abusive man, divorce means loss of control. He cannot no longer fuck you. He cannot no longer control you or tell you what to do. He can no longer tap into your bank account because y'all don't have joint bank accounts no more. He can't stay in your fucking business even though you're dating other people. He lost that control. Men hate divorce. Ladies, protect your money, get a prenuptial agreement, and make that man get a psychiatric evaluation before you marry him.
As a woman, I see absolutely no benefit in marrying a man. And I know sometimes, women can be very judgmental, but I feel that we are all functioning under a patriarchal society and we have certain subconscious beliefs. And it's like, oh, you don't have a ring and you don't have a ring. I mean, not everyone wants a ring. Even I have been single for 4 years and have no desire to partner up with anyone currently. It might change later on. But even then, I don't feel like I would ever want to enter a marriage. I don't see any benefits for me whatsoever. Why would I drop my last name and take on a man's last name as if I am owned by him or I am not property? I feel like it's very important to maintain a sense of individuality in relationship, and maybe, yes, a ceremonial thing as far as like showing our devotion and commitment, but to legally be married to a man, I see absolutely no benefit. So no, not everyone wants a ring.
I rushed my wife to the altar. Yeah, I rushed her to the altar. I couldn't even give her a chance to look at me and do the and look at me and be like, who is this and who am I marrying? I'm out of here.
Listen up, ladies. These men know that they don't have a lot to offer you. They got to get you under the love spell, lock it down, put you in a contract that you really don't need ever, and get married to you, make you feel special, make you feel chosen, get you pregnant. Several women in the comments saying, this is what my man did. I'm so happy, 19 years, 30 years. What'd you accomplish besides being married? These men took your life from you, most likely. And some of these men will change up after you have a baby. Some of these men find you an easy yes girl, very sweet, very agreeable, and they say, I gotta lock it down, and easy on the eyes. Now, they're locking it down because they don't want you to share your body with anybody else. They want you to give a certain part of your power away, literally. If a man is so in love with you, needs to spend his life with you, he can prove that to you every single day of his life. Make him pay. Literally. How much a month do you want from him? 10,000 in my bank account. And if that man switches up, he'll pull away. He won't pay anymore. And guess what? Your heart will be broken. Your emotions will not get manipulated and 5 years of your life wasted because you'll have 10,000 in the bank account every month or 20,000, whatever. Have him buy you a house. He wants to live with you? The house can be in your name, or he can buy you a property on the side. He can't afford these things. He doesn't deserve a wife. He should go back to work. I'm sorry, it's expensive. And you having a baby with a guy who got you entangled with him because he got you in your emotions is not smart. Love don't pay the bills. There's no such thing as love. He finds you as a partner, a sexual partner, okay? If you get sick, they leave. If you have a baby, if you gain weight, they act different. And guess what? You signed a contract with a man who saw you as nothing more, something great that he could use in his life, and labeled it love. Congratulations, you got picked. You didn't get to develop because you had to spend 30 years with the same man your entire life. He picked you in your early 20s when you were just developing. And you never discovered who you truly were or the greatness. You could have been an author. You could have been a scientist. But no, you got a man who provided for you, possibly. Even if he does provide for you. His name's on the house with yours. He's got you in a contract. So if you think about leaving him because he starts acting rude to you, you're like, oh, we built this whole life together. I don't have my own power. Keep your power, ladies. You have his last name. You've enmeshed every part of your life with a man that could switch up on you in a moment. Maybe they don't. Maybe they love you forever. And it's a perfect romantic fairy tale. You still wasted your life with a man. You gave up your dreams for love. You probably helped him build his career while you stayed at home. And if you say, well, I want to have a family, great. Have him put a large chunk of money in the bank account so that you can put your body through something very serious like a pregnancy. Make sure he's got that money to pay for that child and for their college and to prepare to support emotionally and financially that child so that that child can have a chance at life. You don't bring a child into the world because you're curious about what it looks like. Oh, babe, what do you think it's going to look like, me or you? That's so cute. You're bringing a life into the world. You need to be serious about it. Love is the mask that hides the reality of life. This man wants you in his life so he can have his toy. So he can have something that cleans his house, helps him with his secretary work for free, is hot, doesn't know any better because she's early in her 20s. He wants to sweep you off your feet. He wants to get you all, oh, okay, yes, I got picked, yay. It happened to me too after 3 months. That's called love bombing, babe. And if you say, hey, I need you to wait for me to finish school, or I need you to wait for me, and he says no, he doesn't love you, he doesn't care about you. He should support you emotionally. He should support your career. He should support your life. He should want to help you grow. And he should put that money in the bank account and stay away from asking you from entering into any contracts that would ask you to give your power away to a man. That's what they're asking you. Hey, marry me. It's going to be so cute to have a marriage certificate. Look at this certificate. It's a contract. It's a literal contract. Love doesn't ask for binding contracts. That's not love. Do you ask your child for a contract, or do you just love them unconditionally for the rest of their life? That's real love. Do you ask your child to do for you? Or do you give to your child because you love them so much? That's love. No contracts. You don't need to. Our grandmothers had to do it. We didn't have a bank account. We were backed against the wall, couldn't have our own business. They kept us from not even being able to have our own business. And the only jobs we could get were as secretary to a man who would sexually harass us. It was horrible. And you just want to keep doing the fairy tale like that didn't even happen? Like marriage wasn't exchanging of you as a piece of property? Because now it's not seen that way? It's still a contract. He's still asking you to give your power away. Wake up, ladies. Wake up. If he really loves you, he'll say, yes, whatever you want. I will love you every single day. And if you say, I don't want a contract, and he says, well, then I don't want it. He was just looking to use you. He was just looking to tie you down, to get you to bind yourself, put your hands behind your back, tie you up so that you couldn't leave him because he's a fearful, insecure man who knows that he can't get anything better and just wants to lock something down so that he can have access to a body for the rest of his life. Maybe he sees you as sweet and very nice. Yeah, you're a pushover. He doesn't think you're a bitch. You know what a bitch is? A girl, a woman who stands up for herself and asks to not be taken advantage of. You don't need to sign a contract with a man. You want to get married? Have a cute ceremony, no contracts involved. Make him pay you every single month. Build your life. Move the way you need to move. He can follow you. You want to move states because your career is going that way? Does he love you? He can move where you're going. He needs you. You don't need him. And if he can't step up to the plate, another man can. And trust me, you're not missing anything because you need a man to love you, to say sweet words to you, and to give you hugs and handholds. You're not missing anything. That's easy to get from a man. It's easy. Don't let the love illusion blind you from making logical decisions. It's literally like going in for an application for work and they say, you know what? We don't need to pay you. Just sign a contract. I love you. Come and work here for free. I love you. I'm going to say sweet words to you every day you come in for work. Free Bex, free maid, free emotional, and just kind of doesn't really take care of you. Just kind of gives you basic bare minimum. Is that what you want? Do you want to go to work for free? Do you want your time wasted for free? That's what marriage is. Women, we have power, we always have, and that's why they tried to keep us away from money and our own true independence. And the tables are turning. Please stop doing what your grandmothers were forced.
It's time to rethink, ladies, what marriage truly means in today's world. Your worth, your well-being should not be dependent on a man's goodwill. Love yourself enough to choose yourself, to choose your peace. Being single is not a failure. Thank you so much for making it this far into the video. I post every morning, every evening. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I will see you guys in my next one.